My question is about being sure of yourself, security within. I was going out with someone last year, and at some point, he started disappearing, and I started feeling, what did I do? It was not that strong, but it showed up, that feeling. About that.
Okay. You know, intimate relationships are the biggest mirrors because that's where all the attachment and insecurity comes from. And you have to keep coming back because nothing that happens with another person has anything to do with you. You are responsible for you. And that feeling of not being good enough, it's something very old. And it's not real. And every time you see that, you have to come back and anchor in your consciousness and give that love to yourself. You know, we always want everything to be forever. And it's the biggest illusion because it's never forever. The only thing that's forever is you. That's it. You're born with you. You die with you. You are with you for eternity. And that's permanent. Everything else is an idea. So when we stop attaching to everything because we're wanting to feel loved or approved or whatever, and when that thing leaves, we feel inadequate, which happens in intimate relationships, no? There's always that duplicity. I'm not good enough. Or what did I do wrong? Or the blame. They did this, they did that, da 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 da. Always just keep coming home. It is what it is. It is what it is. It was like that, now it's like that. You know, we always want to write the script. And it's always the same script. But it never is that script. Hmm? So just let it go. And give that love to you. You have to give that love to you. Hmm? And you can't take everything personally. You know, some people come for a week. Some people come for a month. Some people for a year. Some people for 20. But just be there in the moment and enjoy each moment. This is another thing I see. This fear of losing takes all the joy. You can't even enjoy when you are together because you're worrying that it's going to finish. And we have to let go of that habit too, because it's just a habit. You know, you look at a child, they're not still playing with the same toy that they had when they were 2. No, they keep letting go. And as we mature emotionally and spiritually, we see that everything is transient. Nothing's permanent. So we need to be lighter. Just being loving, giving love, and being loving with ourselves, without external obligation or internal. You know, just love yourself and give that love. Hmm?
My question now is, how can I find the balance in between this me without masks, where I don't have any doubt that I want to be this, but without hurting the rest?
Well, I've got good news. You can't hurt other people. You can only touch on their image. And that's it. You know, you need to see. You are polishing yourself. And maybe you have some behaviors that are without consciousness. But it's okay, because now you're taking your masks off and you're starting to refine yourself without abandoning yourself so that people love you. Playing small so people love you. Not saying what you feel or the truth so people love you. And that's a good step. You know, you're an insecure person. And now you're starting to come out of that. And you're starting to see how unlimited you are. Okay, so obviously, whatever judgment you have inside, you will have reflected. It will be reflected. And you need to move the stress and let it go. Judgment within, judgment without. This is how the universe works. Judgment within, judgment without. Let go of the judgment, the stress, let go of everything, and anything that comes from the outside will not affect you. But it's a process, because humans are very sensitive. You're sensitive, they're sensitive, they're critical, you're critical. And it's normal. But you're in a safe space. And this is where we grow. We use our friends to grow. Yeah, you're not going to go and project onto your grandmother. No, but here, all the students are doing the same thing. So whatever reflection you get, you have to go in and see if it resonates. And feel and let go. Yeah, it's a very simple process. It's confronting, but it's simple. Just be innocent. Good. You're going to fly. Fly, fly.
But for me, anything triggers the feeling of not enough. Somebody passed next to me and didn't say hi, and he's like, I feel it. I understand that it's not related to me because only passed and didn't see me. But I feel like that immediately. What can I do?
Okay, so when you see that, first thing you have to learn is every human lives in their own little world. Everyone has a little world, worrying about their image, worrying about what you think, and everyone's doing the same thing. Because everyone's a bit insecure. So when you see that, you have to take it in and love that place and focus on your consciousness. And you need to laugh at yourself because it's just a habit. Really? Oh, I'm not good enough. Oh, I'm insignificant. Oh, I've got low self-esteem. Oh, they didn't talk to me. What did I do wrong? They didn't see me. I'm so insignificant. I know. You have all those thoughts. You have to just put the facet and laugh. And you have to ask yourself a question. Who's the person in this world that can make you happy? You. And it will always be that. It's your responsibility because your reaction is your choice. And remember that. You know, move the stress, move the fear, move the insecurity. Then, oh, I need to just love me.
In these days being here, I received so much appreciation from the outside. I was told many beautiful things. and I feel well. But I feel well till here, and outside they reflect till up here. And I would like to go deeper with that. Or seeing myself with those eyes that other ones see me. Sometimes I get a little bit surprised, like, oh, really? I, I could love to appreciate myself more.
So the first thing is you have to receive. And that's all you have to do. You just have to open. You know, your exigence can't receive because nothing's good enough. But you've softened that. You've let go of so much of that. Because before you were so violent with yourself, you were dense, no? And now you're much lighter. And all this is coming because you're ready to hear it. And that's all you do. But don't evaluate. You know, we have to get to a point where we have so much silence that external opinion neither elevate us or... That was the word. You understand? It just has to be a neutral thing of unconditional love. And if you hear all this, gracias. And just open to receive. It's an energy you're receiving. But it shouldn't be changing you. Because our greatest qualities are not looking for recognition. Our greatest qualities we're giving to the world. You know, if you're looking for recognition, you're taking from the world. If you are just giving, you can receive as well.
I can see I had an attachment to the past. Always is with my ex-boyfriend was better. When I used to live in that city, I was happier. I want to know how to stop comparing and appreciate more the person I am today and the life I'm creating.
Okay, firstly, come back. I want to look at you while I talk to you. You have to anchor in the moment. And you have to see this is a trick of your ego. It tries to keep you out of the moment by looking backwards. Out of the moment, dreaming about the future. But it's all illusion. That's a story. That's a story. This is real. This is the moment. And you have to empty yourself so you can enjoy. It's a trick not to enjoy. Not appreciate, not live in the moment, to not be the facets. Praise love for this moment in its perfection. Do you know when you're empty, everything is new. Unlimited possibilities. Everything is spectacular. Everything's coming within. When you're in the moment, when you're in consciousness, the ego yearns for the past, loves the missing. But it's all fantasy. It wasn't even like that. It's just an idea. And then we want to take it into the future. Open. Be innocent. You've got no idea what you'll create in the future. Focus on consciousness. Let go. Enjoy. Trust. Be the facets. Be here now. Praise, love and gratitude for what's here now. That's it. It's so simple. Life's simple. It's so simple. Life never brings more than you can handle. Humans make it so complicated. And it's just another experience.
I, I have a problem with freedom because the desire of my heart is to be free, but I'm afraid to be alone. How can be compatible both things? I cannot be free without being by
Well,
myself.
to be
and
free
that-
is internal, and you're never lonely if you're loving yourself. You don't need someone else to support you, to make you feel secure. You have you. And it's a process. And that doesn't mean we don't enjoy other people. We don't share with other people. But often we stay in toxic situations because we're afraid of the unknown. But once we move through that fear, we're open to receive. But first we have to be happy with ourselves. And that's a big step. It's about maturing. It's about going through the fear, cultivating consciousness, finding peace. And bit by bit, you wish to be by yourself. And when you are with someone else, it'll be something magical.
What's the relationship in between the food with all this process we did?
You know, we feed you how we feed you so you can go as deep as possible. You know, if you're consuming caffeine and chocolate, it accelerates, you know. But you get to a point where it doesn't affect you. But when you're here, the deeper you can go, the better. It's really good. Because what do you have to do? You got to lay down and connect. Yeah? So yes, anything that stimulates, anything that's dense, anything that alters that you're consuming, that's toxic, alcohol, marijuana, whatever, a big list of things, it's always taking you out of that experience, a pure experience. Yeah, so it's about that. But if you listen to yourself, you'll know. You'll know what serves. You have to listen to your body. You know, some people can, they fly all over the place. And they have to eat heavier things. It depends on the person. It's not a rule. You don't all have to be vegan and drink water. No, you have to listen to your own body.
The teachers were reflecting that at work or my partner relationship, I'm not value myself. And I don't know how to be different. In this moment I'm seeing I'm not valuing myself, but I don't know how to be different. Can you talk to me about it?
You know, it's a pattern that you've learned. And you've been doing it all your life. And it's just about being present. Am I abandoning myself? Am I making myself small so that someone else feels bigger? Like, what's my fear? You know, my mother used to always push me down. Absolutely, all the time. You know, I was an athlete, and I'd run against the rest of the school. And I'd be so far in front. It was unbelievable, no? And my mother would say, you have to go slower. You're making the other kids look bad. Don't sing like that. You're making the other kids feel bad. And from that moment on, I was always playing small, 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 because I thought it was correct. Because I was a nice person and I didn't want to make the other people feel bad. And I took that into my life. And if you can see that, something like that, you have to just change it. If you're conscious of it, it will come out and you'll see it. And then you go, oh, I'm doing that again. Facet, facet, facet. Because you should be shining, doing the best in everything, not accommodating anyone, just being you and giving your best. What else can you do? Yeah, and you're too big to be little. Huh?
My question is, since April last year, I'm practicing, and I see it's very hard for me to do, is love creates me, my perfection. I can be super connected in the first two, but in that third one, seems that if my mind explodes, and I get to the middle of it, I jump onto the fourth. But the fourth is hard too. Those two is hard. I insist, but please, can you explain?
Sure. You know, love creates me my perfection. And when we have so many judgments with ourselves, so much exigence with ourselves, we just can't believe that's true. Because our ego's telling us, it's not true, it's not true, it's not true. We have to change this, we have to change that, we have to be more, whatever. So those last two facets are very confronting. But don't look for a result. Just keep doing it. And bit by bit, everything will start to go. And then you'll start to experience the facet. And you won't have the judgments. So it's just a process. But it's very normal. What's happening? Very normal. So just insist. Maybe start with love and work your way through.
Love generates attachment. Why is so wrong attachment?
Love, unconditional love, doesn't generate attachment. Unconditional love has no fear. Attachment comes from fear. And that's the difference. When you're complete within yourself, you're complete within the situation. You don't attach. And if you do, it's very evident. And you start to let it go. Whatever makes you suffer isn't love. And you've been taught the opposite, no? Love makes me suffer. I suffer for my partner. I suffer for my children. I suffer for my país when it loses the football. I suffer, I suffer, I suffer because I love. It's just drama. It's just drama. Huh? And you have to get to the point where you don't suffer, where you feel secure within yourself, where you trust. If I trust myself, I trust my partner. If I trust myself, I trust the universe. If I love myself unconditionally, I can give that love unconditionally. If I know my own power and I'm empowered, I can empower others by giving them freedom. It's very important. That's unconditional love. But maybe 20 people experience it. It's a process. It's a big process. And it starts with you loving you. And that's what you're doing now. Very quickly. Yeah, you're pushing yourself. I see this. But be sweet with you too. Okay.
Since a year and a half ago, I have breast cancer. I'm in the last process of my sickness. I never felt it as a sickness. I took it as very positive. Had been brilliant. I took it as something very positive. But I have a fear behind. That is, what happens or what is going to happen to me afterwards when this pass, and maybe I will fall. Maybe I will have a low of energy, maybe that fear. I'm going to be having always the same strength for now on, confronting everything the same ways, or there is a moment I will be feeling really
You know,
down.
whilst you're here, you got to stop being positive. And you have to go into all that fear, that insecurity, that sadness, and move it. It's very important. You know, your attitude got you to this point. And that's great. But you can't have cancer and not be afraid. You know, you just can't. And you need to move all of the fear and use the cancer to heal everything else, to expand your consciousness, to find internal peace, but real peace, not something you're convincing yourself. You know, forward and adelante. Because you need to move everything. And you've just done chemo. So you've got lots of toxins in your body. You need to drink a lot of water. Go very deep. Just empty. Sigue positiva, no? But empty all the rubbish. You know, and you'll find people here that have gone through the same process. And you can talk to them. And they'll tell you what they did. But good. No, very, very good. Nice that you're here. Stay positive. Get rid of the rubbish. Yeah.
How to identify the fears that you have to heal or you still have to heal?
You know, I think the most important thing is to let go of control and just allow everything to come. You know, many people come here and they have a list. I want to heal this and I want to heal this. No, I've already healed that. And it's not true. You know, everything unfolds perfectly. You know, some people come here because they want to stop smoking, want to stop eating, want to stop drinking, and whatever. Okay, and the thing is that all of these behaviors come from deep stresses, places where we don't love ourselves, where we're trying to escape ourselves. And the facets start to elevate everything. And whatever needs to leave will appear in the moment. So the key is innocence. You know, you created all these separations. You created your window of perception through all of your experience, and you didn't organize it. Okay, and the cleaning of that, you can't organize either. You have to let go of the control and just allow. And don't assume that you've healed something. Because until you pull it out from the root, it's like jujus in the paddock, no? Okay, you cut them, but they come back, and they come back. And it's the same with stress, traumas, and separations. Until they come out from the root, they keep re-emerging and creating your perception. So let go of the idea of what you know and allow everything just to unfold. And however it meant to look will be perfect. Good.
Come visit our webpage for books, movies, and our wonderful retreat centers. Isha's simple yet powerful system is transforming lives around the world.